This is the Jayhawks Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
Back for another night 2 of 3 this week from the upper patio here in the South Gym in Jesup. Boys basketball, Jesup J-Hawks coming in here in Class 2A. North Iowa Cedar East Conference Championship tied right now, 14-5 overall. South Hardin coming in tonight. They're in the west side of the North Iowa Cedar. They're 6-4 in that conference, 10-9 overall. Small roster of the varsity end for South Hardin Jayhawks. What do you count? 37 on their varsity roster, something like that. Maybe I miscounted. I don't know.
I think you miscounted, but we were up there. I think we're close to 20, 18, I believe, on our varsity roster. So good numbers, to say the least.
I'm Nate Claiborne. That's Luke Baldwin. Eric Clark joining us back up tonight on camera. And Anthony Bond running the Magic Suitcase, the controls here on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. Big win last night over North Tama, and we'll talk again probably throughout this game. Right now tied for the conference with Wapsie Valley after a huge win last Friday up at Wapsie Valley.
Yeah, just a massive win. I think it took everybody by surprise, and probably including the Jayhawk coaching staff and team themselves. But we're going to have part 2 of that coming up Thursday night. So hopefully they can come out with the same intensity and offensive prowess, if you will, on Thursday.
Girls did pick up the win, cleared the championship in the east side with that win Friday up at Wapsie Valley to go undefeated in conference play, 8-0. Let's turn things over to our public address announcer, Dan Fox, as he brings us our starting lineups for the Jayhawks as well as the Tigers from South Hardin.
Miller and Jim Poetry. Now, the starting lineup for South Hardin Tigers. A senior, number 0, Waylon Butler. A junior, number 2, Ryan Walters. A junior, number 4, Mikhail McDonald. A junior, number 13, Jay Petresky. A senior, number 30, Mason Sheldon. The Tigers are coached by John Phillips. Assisted by Jeffrey Butler, Jay Sheldon, Ryan Lucan, and David Vanderwilt. And now for the Jayhawks, a sophomore, number 0, Jack Miller. A senior, number 2, Parker Cole. A senior, number 15, Carter Evan. A senior, number 23, Carson Lino. And a senior, number 24, Corbin Fueling. The Jayhawks are coached by Joe Smythe, assisted by Rodney Zaleski and Steve Schmidt. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we honor our nation and flag, while paying respect to our men and women in uniform around the world who protect our liberties and way of life with the playing of our national anthem.
from the Jesup High School Orchestra as we are set tonight for Game 2 of 3 this week. And then it's postseason play. Girls will begin next week. And boys underway the following week. So it's February. That's what happens every year about this time.
That's what we do. That's what they do anyway. We just stand up here and run our mouths.
Head coach of the South Hardin squad, John Phillips, assisted by Jeffrey Butler, Jay Shelda, Ryan Lucan, David Vanderwitt. Head coach Joe Smines, assisted by Steve Schmidt, Nick Donnelly, Mike Johnson, as well as Ronnie Selesky and Brock Sabers. Rodney and Brock just getting off a bus from Sumner Fred, joining in on the sidelines here as this one gets underway.
We're going to have to give Mad Dog a hard time. He threw a bottle out on the court. They had to.
Was it a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew?
No, it was just a water bottle. I'm not sure what happened, but some hijinks going on down there. Nice block by McCone.
Down floor, nice catch. Long to Miller. Almost goes out of bounds. South Hardin will save it. And we're seeing aggressiveness on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I was watching the South Hardin team warm up. Long three, no good for the Tigers. They looked pretty intense. I felt like this is a team that came ready to play tonight, and they're getting right after it, as we're already seeing.
Yeah, that's McGonigal, who came in number 4. This is his first start of the season. He'll meet up with McCone defensively. Now Jack Miller take that signature deep 3. And Jessup's on the board first.
Jesup into a full court man-to-man, relatively loose man-to-man, slowing down the offense a little bit.
McGonigal take it across midcourt. Little pick on Fueling. They'll take it down low, see if the big guy can make it happen. Draws a foul, no good for Sheldon.
A foul is going to go against Carter Even for the Jayhawks. First personal, first team.
And same crew we had for 2 quarters at a fresh soft game into JV. They played it pretty conservative as far as officiating goes.
So there was a couple quarters of fresh soft.
Yep, couple quarters there, yeah, based on their numbers.
When I pulled up, there was parents and players leaving, and I thought to myself,
You're late.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, 2 quarters of fresh soft, and actually Tyler Nolan had a 3-pointer with 2 seconds to go that ended up winning the game for that, or the 2 quarters, I guess, for that squad.
Nice. McCone filling it up from the 3-point line. Well beyond the 3-point line, I should say.
6 points total for Jesup right now. 6:18 the clock moves. Non-specific conference game for the Jayhawks tonight. North Tama win last night, 73-36. See what South Hardin can do. Aggressive underneath. Lenow and Miller obstruct that down low, and McCone will bring it across. Deep 3 for Fueling, who had a fair amount of points last night. And out of the basket. He was lighting up last night, Luke, Fueling.
Yes, he was. He ended, 28 points? Something like that, yeah. 30 points.
In the paint, McGonigal. Back out to Walters. And wide open. Butler was waiting. Leno caught up at the charity stripe. Deep 3, Fueling. I'll take him out of bounds, reset it.
Not surprising. You do see the Tigers collapsing hard on Leno. As soon as that ball goes inside, they collapse 3 on him there. So if the Jayhawks are able to shoot as well as they typically do from the outside, that should bode well for us. And also pull that defense back out and allow Leno to do some work down low.
Back-to-back baskets. Give credit to Sheldon. They have tied things up. And Jessup's going after that 3 ball. Fueling eyed it even.
Ball pass gets away from Fueling there.
Inbound that in front of Jayhawk bench down to our right as they go towards that north basket here in the gym. One of our nice facilities we have here on campus, and Luke will talk more throughout the game. We got plans for some facility improvements here in Jesup as well. As we have a big event coming up here.
Absolutely. We'll touch on it real quick here during the foul shots. We've got a bond vote coming up on March 1st, 2022, where residents of Jesup Community School District will be asked to approve a $13.9 million general obligation bond to fund projects that will create more efficient, safe, and flexible teaching and learning spaces in the middle and high school.
But I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is that going to raise my taxes?
Absolutely not. There will contrary to what some people would probably like to tell you in the community. You know, there's always a few out there that like to
got their opinions.
Or spread some halves or half-truths or complete falsehoods. This will not increase your property taxes. This is being funded exclusively through I'm trying to find my information so I don't
this isn't off the top of your head.
Spread some falsehoods myself, but the Secure and Advanced Vision for Education, some might know that as the SAVE 1% sales tax. So that's one of the funding sources, and then we also have an existing bond that it expired recently, which basically allows us to roll this new bond in without any additional increase to property taxes. So I'm not up here telling you this is an expensive project. It's $13.9 million, so we know it's expensive, but
charging foul for Leno, sent it the other way. Yeah, and you talk about facilities. There's not really one key thing. Like when you look at past bonds of the early childhood center and a track and football field improvements and a athletic center or a new elementary, middle school back like we had in 05. This is there's some big ticket items on there, but there's also things just to keep the buildings nice and keep them where they need to be in modern fashion.
And this isn't, we just came up with this the other day. This is part of the long-term facility plan, phase 2. Some of the specific things it does include is additional classrooms and collaborations area. Big one, a new auditorium. The fine arts programs in particular are long overdue for some upgrades. New industrial tech space, which will be 2 times what it is today, or 2 times the size what it is today. Improved ADA and accessibility issues, and then some upgrades to the north gym and wrestling room.
So a little something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feeling on the right side, he's going to look at a 3. He'll duck in, little lean in, finds it.
Nice
and
floater
goes to 4. Jesup was down just a little bit and now have bounced back to the 3-point lead, 2:42 to go.
You know, going back to that bond vote on Tuesday, March 1st, some would say, well, if it was good enough for me, it ought to be good enough for the kids today. Well, that's not really how things work anymore. And I have a pretty strong opinion. You're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. There's no complacency today. And we see schools our size closing left and right, and that's a good reason to continue to invest in them. Outside of just, it's important to invest in our kids and their future.
Lee now gets that basket, his first one of the night, taking him to 2 points total. Send that lead to 2, or bring that lead to 2. Coach Smines did mention when we were visiting with him before the game, this team tends to match up with whoever they're playing, and they play some tight games.
Well, they're doing a really nice job. They're quick. They're as quick as some of the teams we've met in our half of the conference here. Sometimes our guard play they out-quick the other team, and they just kind of wear them down. But this is a team that's, at least from the guard perspective, built a little bit like us. As we see Miller no good on the 3. Rebound, Brevin Dahl up to Corbin Fueling, who will shoot the three, no good. Long rebound, Brevin Dahl again. Love Brevin Dahl's play.
Miller deep three, same spot, finally gets it.
Go ahead and get that one.
Take him to 6 tonight.
Jayhawks dropping back into what looks like a 1-3-1 defense.
Jesup so far 40% shooting from the field, 36% for South Hardin. According to Mad Dog stats, push off the board, no good from Sheldall, but finally see that go in for the Tigers.
Well, the Tigers, they're getting the job done on the offensive boards. They're getting second shots, and that's hurting the Jayhawks right now.
Lino, little pull-up, 7-footer.
The Jayhawks could stand to box out a little bit tougher, especially on the defensive end.
Little double team here with Even and Miller. They're going to push that crossed. Force in with Sheldall, finds Walters, and Walters finds the basket, take him to 7. Nice little tune-up to have right before Wapsie Valley, get you focused in after a lopsided win last night. At the buzzer, no good for Dahl.
So the Jayhawks, they do come out of the first quarter with the very narrow 17-16 lead, but this is a highly contested game so far, and the Tigers having a lot of success down low on the Jayhawks, sneaking passes down around by that baseline and getting relatively easy shots underneath. So that's definitely something Coach Smines is probably talking to his players about, and something he's likely trying to adjust even before halftime.
Coming off a win Friday night over BCUW, 71-20 was that final. AGWSR last week beat them 70-67. So they're on about a 5-game winning streak with wins over East Marshall and South Hamilton. Just looking up, losing to Denver 93-77. AP got them 92-66. That's not an easy schedule that they've had.
No, they've definitely got some firepower in there. Grundy Center, they did drop a couple games to them, but Grundy Center's leading that side. Just one loss on the season.
Mason Sheldall putting point total for South Tama, averaging almost 16 points per game. Missed shot from Jack Miller.
And that can't happen.
Fast breaks are catching them. McCone. He's wide open, top of the key. He sees the shot. There you go.
McGonigal brings it up the court. Over to Teskey. Little inside-out action.
McGonigal open right side. Miller sees that one, can't get it, but right there. He's a scrappy player, that Sheldall. He keeps going after that ball, and they keep throwing up shots, and whistle's blown.
Yeah, you got to get a butt into those guys and move them out of there. We've got 4 guys under the hoop to their 2, and they came up with both of those rebounds.
Deep shot, Teskey. They're playing the night. They came to go. Jesup's been taking a ton of shots from that 3-point range, just trying to extend that lead as Even was where he needed to be.
Great board by Even.
McGonigal brings that ball across the court.
Watch the backside, there it is every time.
Yeah, they're watching that, and that's got to get corrected at halftime. 8 points now for Teskey. A little duck in, little floater, doesn't go. Miller tries to stick with him defensively. 6-minute mark.
Speaking of Miller, had an outstanding defensive game last night, and then of course over at Wapsie just completely shut down Wapsie's leading scorer.
One bounce, looking for an outlet. There. Doesn't matter where they're at on the floor. They don't mind taking that shot. Down floor to Miller. 1 foot on the ground, arm up and in.
That was a helpful no call to allow us to score that basket. Otherwise, I'm afraid that would have been on the ground.
24-23. Ball's loose. Teskey will find it. McGonigal back to Teskey. Shot attempt from that outside. Pull down from Leno. He wants to dribble it up.
And this is something we've seen quite a bit throughout the season, and Coach has full confidence in Leno to bring that ball up the court. Hits Miller for a deep three-pointer, which was nothing but net, as we've seen many times this year.
Comes out of bounds.
Looks like Fewling's got some new kicks on tonight, some aqua green.
Coral,
I believe he usually has kind of a purplish color, doesn't he? Or is that, maybe I'm thinking of McCone.
There's
McCone's
a pastel in there somewhere.
I can't keep up with these kids and their sneakers.
Come a long way since Ethan Wyant's orange shoes.
He was kind of alone in that I don't know, bright color department, but now it's, if you have a pair of standard white or whatever, it seems like you're the odd man out.
Yeah, you even look at the Tiger squad.
Same thing there. They're all over the place.
I know we're going to sound old when I say, well, our team's always had the same shoes.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice. That was.
You want white ones or black ones?
That was
or
mandatory.
Maybe, if you were lucky, some blue ones. We're not talking Chuck Taylors just yet. There's Walters, baseline, gets past Leno.
That's good defense by Leno. Stayed down.
Stayed in there.
Got his hands up. Brevin Dahl back into the game. He's going to replace Carter Even. So Jack Miller with 11 for the Jayhawks right now. Outside of that, nobody's really turning it up on offense. And on the other side of the board, we've got Jake Teskey also with 11.
Sheldall gets that last basket, takes the lead for South Hardin on Jesup here. Out to Miller. He's going to try that deep three one more time.
Like I said earlier, if we can get these perimeter guys knocking those threes down consistently, that'll pull the defense out a little bit and allow Leno to have a little more space to operate in there.
His shot, Miller right in there to pull the rebound.
Corbin Fewling, no good. That's a shot I wouldn't mind Corbin holding up on and going inside to Leno. The defense was not back. He could have shot it inside to Leno and got an easy two. Corbin also a great three-point shooter, so I can't hardly blame the kid for taking it, but as the refs discuss something here. Got a timeout. Coach John Phillips going to take a full timeout, talk things over. I don't know what the other conversation was about, but seems they've got it under control. So Jesup with the 2-point lead. Oh, they called the foul off.
Looking at rankings in Class 2A for boys basketball, AP sits in the number 5 spot. Interest from our area. Number 1 is Boyden Hull. Anybody else in our area getting some votes or getting some shakes? Doesn't look like it. Class 1A, Grandview Christian is 1, Win is 2. Gladbrook-Rhinebeck is sitting in the 6th spot. Dunkerton 10. East Buchanan getting some votes. But yeah, AP about the only one here in this part of the neck of the woods that's ranked in Class 2A. Cedar Falls in 4A, sitting that number 4 spot. Class 3A. Not really any looks there either. But girls basketball, though, continues to grow and build. I think we're still sitting 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere in there on the girls' end of things.
Heck of a season they've had. And
Yeah,
if
they
you
just
look
keep
at
getting
that,
better.
it's interesting when you look at that team. We have some outstanding athletes on that team, but the team as a whole isn't like they're not overly flashy. But they get it done, man. They're scrappy as heck. That's one of the reasons they get it done. That's Corbin Fueling forces the turnover. Goes back the other way, no good on the floater. Corbin a little cold here.
There's a lot of comparisons even when you look at these girls and boys, when you're comparing these two teams at Jesup. You look at Lena, who all of a sudden could have 24 on a night, and Amanda Tripto could have 22 on a night. It's not anything that stands out to you.
Right.
It just happens.
Well, Leno's just so darn good that he just scores in bunches, and you hardly notice it sometimes. A little bit of an ugly mess going on right now on both ends of the court. Finally, Corbin's able to put the ball through the hoop. Nearly gets the steal on the inbounds, quickly back the other way.
A lot of pressure right there, and Leno.
No.
Just a little ticky-tack if he's going to get called for that.
That was absolutely not a foul, and the ref that called it was on the wrong side of Leno to even make that call.
Yeah, he couldn't even see his hands from where he was standing at.
That was just a poor call. I will go on record with that.
I'm going to guess he was watching his feet more than he was watching anything else.
I think he just made some assumptions on what happened on the other side of the guy he couldn't see around.
1:49 to go, deep from Puling, rims up. Leno pulls it down, takes a bounce out, finds Dahl. Miller's open. Brett will take it on his own, get his own rebound, reset this offense. And just a quick pass goes errant, and McGonigal will draw a foul as McCone looked like it went all ball, but
another bad call.
Send him to the line.
That is 2 really bad calls. You can stare the coach down all you want, ref, but that was a bad call, man. Okay, throw your weight around, sir.
Yep, Joe get a little slap on the hand from the official down low, so.
Players and coaches, you got to keep your mouth shut, but refs make bad calls, and those were 2 bad calls.
Yeah, it's a challenging position to have, no matter what level of sport you're at, whether it's T-ball or NFL. Lee now bounce in the lane, goes in. 7 points for him, 34-35. Back and forth, back and forth. Seems like Jesup gets on a run, and then Dunkerton just comes right back at him.
Dunkerton, huh?
Or the jerseys matched up with me. South Hardin.
Nice job, Corbin and McCone, fueling the McCone, I should say.
I was at least in the right, well, maybe not the right area code. That's probably 515 over that way. Under 40 seconds. We'll recap scoring. Talk about the first half here coming up as we get into halftime. Coming right side, Walters. He'll lean in, pull that down from Leno. Jesup had a 1-point lead coming out of the first quarter. See if they can at least have that going into halftime. Fueling will dish to Parker. A lot of pressure defensively. Parker out, Fueling up, 2 seconds, hits the rim, and that's going to be it. Halftime here in Jesup, 36-35. Back and forth, back and forth.
Well, from an entertainment standpoint, that's a good game. I mean, I've always said that I love a close game because it's just more fun to watch. But Jesup definitely needs to make some adjustments at halftime, especially inside there. Coach Smines looks like he's maybe wants to have a conversation with the refs.
Or not.
He's gonna head away. I don't know what.
He's checking his points, or I don't know. Maybe he's going to get out of the view of the audience before something's mentioned as they go in the hallway.
I don't know.
So I don't know.
But yeah, and I shouldn't bag on the refs like that. But I mean, hey, if a player or a coach does something stupid, we call him out on it.
Yeah.
You know, if a ref makes 2 stupid calls in a row, I'm going to call him out on it.
Well, we're sitting right now, Jesup again up by 1 after 19 points apiece put up in that second quarter. Leading scorer for South Hardin is Teskey. He's got 11 points, 8 each for Walters and Sheldall. On Jesup's side of things, Miller, he's been hot from the arch, 14 points from his location angled out in the left. Give 8 to McCone, 7 for Leno. We've got 4 for Fueling. We have actually 6 for Fueling, no bench points as of yet. We are at halftime. We'll return here in just about 6 or 7 minutes and get into second half action. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. right, back on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. South Gym here in Jesup. Upper patio is where we're sitting. I'm Nate Clayberg. That's Luke Baldwin, Anthony Baugh, the controls, Eric Clark on camera tonight as we are set for high school basketball action, second half action. South Hardin and Jesup. I thought it would be a good game, but I didn't realize it was going to be this tight of a game.
I honestly, I didn't know what to think about it. I mean, South Hardin, they're similar record to us. Like I said early on, I was watching them warm up, and they seemed like they were a very determined team. And they've, as you alluded to before, they played a lot of tough competition this season. So they're definitely more than capable.
South Hardin now going towards that south basket. Whistle blown in the paint. 3 seconds inside. Don't see that too often.
No, I was just going to say that is not something you see very often. So.
The Tigers coming in 10-9 overall. Jesup 14-5. Have won the last 4 games. Last loss actually was against Union back on the 25th of January, 73-66. Deep one from Miller.
Got it. That's a good way. Good to see Miller start out the half with that, and that was definitely a deep one.
17 points. Jesup giving a little room in that paint, and Fueling hits that ball roll right off his hands, and he kind of got ahead of himself.
I think you're absolutely right, Nate. I think he was looking for the play before he had the ball.
High up, he'll inbound that. Come right side, Teskey, who's been the leading scorer this game for the visitors at 11.
Jesup in a man-to-man defense.
And a little push on Lee now. Gives, Butler gets the basket. Now Jack. He'll come baseline, and Lino out of his reach. Just off tonight. The post up underneath from McCone. South Hardin just keeps jab it.
Yeah, they answer.
Gonigal, point guard. He's got 4 now. Fueling gets forced out midcourt. There's McCone. Crossover to Fueling. Take that sky high. Doesn't roll. Even one bounce. Off the board, no good. Rebound into the Tigers' hands.
Wouldn't mind seeing. Like to see even stay up with that, rather than bring it back down and take that unnecessary dribble. Just get that board, go straight back up with it. You bring it down, you run the risk of those little ankle biters coming in and stealing it from you.
Butler will loose on the dribble. Teskey. Eyes out to McGonigal. Cut up on the pivot. Walters. Side where he wants to take it. Will exchange. Almost exchange with Teskey.
Almost.
And Jesup now picking up some defensive pressure. McGonigal baseline. Little loop in over to Sheldall. And he'll get it.
Great ball movement by the Tigers. They find a way to get the ball to that rim, and they score it pretty much every time. Jesup's got to find a way to get tougher here, and that going inside to Lino is one way to do that.
Yeah, you look at that Sheldall inside. 6'4", senior is blocking some shots. 6 now for Butler. Jack will step in, bounce out. Fueling looked at a 3. Reset that offense at the 5-minute mark.
That's a beautiful pass inside by Jack Miller. Didn't result in anything, but those are the things that I'm always amazed by that kind of go unnoticed.
Nice.
Much needed 3-pointer by McCone.
Put them back ahead. Force in Walters. He was driving his own lane. And they're going to save that from out of bounds. I thought certainly he was out. Down 4. Fueling gets the give and go. 8 points for him tonight.
Okay, apply some defensive pressure here, fellas. Don't let him get an easy one inside.
This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. Got a few people following along on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Always good to know who you're following, where you're from. Miller brings it back to the end of the court. Parker back to back. Off the rim, no good. Defensive rebound to the Tigers. Sheldon pulled up, 7 feet out.
Nice shot. It's a tough guard. Looks like Corbin has a little issue with his hand. Maybe he's kind of favoring that.
Leno, little bounce and draw the foul, and Leno was like, that's what I needed to get some things going. Take him to 10 total, go to the free throw line.
Brevendal in for even.
Looked like maybe Fueling had some blood or something on his hand as they're getting it cleaned up.
I think he did. Lane Lucan and Vanderwilt, Josh Vanderwilt, in for the Tigers. I'm not even sure it was his own blood. I think he just found some blood on him and wanted to get it off of him.
Which is a good thing of wanting to do.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Your third team foul this half between both teams. And that will count against Jesup.
Goes against Leno. Leno's third foul.
Have to pay attention to that. Sheldon outside, rolls around. Leno has to get into Dahl's hands. Jack will slow it down.
Ooh, nearly traveled by Jack. Jesup able to recover. Shot, man.
They're following shots. It's hard to get in there. Some size. Under 3 minutes. Third period. Little swing around. Counted in for Walters.
See if we can get maybe a higher percentage shot here.
Now McCone. Little pop out to Miller. You know, we were talking at halftime. You know, Jack, his first look isn't to that basket. It's to an outlet.
Boy.
But if he's going to shoot it, he's generally pretty confident that he's going to hit it.
That was from the orange volleyball stripe there, right in, well, it's right in front of us, I guess to the right of the camera there.
Sophomore Jack Miller started as a freshman last year. Very unusual, but did not play like it. Averaged almost 14 points a game this season, 44 from the field, 35 from the arc, 72% free throw shooter. What's he going to be like as a senior?
Time will tell, but if he continues on the path he's going, he's going to be pretty darn dangerous. And, you know, we were watching that JV game prior to this where we saw the Jayhawks take care of business, but you got a guy like Ryan Treptow who I had said, you know, you put another year on him and Vogel as well, Levi Vogel.
Landon Vogel.
Landon, thank you. Landon Vogel. Those are two guys that you put another year of growth, strength, maturity, and experience on them, and they're going to be fun to watch.
Well, and you bring back Brevendal with the experience he's had, and
right.
You know, Ryan Durham's seen some floor time.
Well, and we were even
Kale Shizzle, you know, he's got some work in there.
He's really nice looking
Jacob
ball
Yexley,
player.
how is he going to develop in the offseason?
Yeah, and that's the guy we were talking about earlier. I mean, if he puts in a strong offseason, he's 6'5" or whatever he stands these days, 6'5", yeah. That's a kid that he could come out of the woodwork on you.
2:09 to go, foul inside Miller. That's his third personal. And the third for the Jayhawks, missed free throw.
Walters take one more shot here.
Take him to 13 total with that free throw.
Really impressed with this Tigers unit. They just a hard-working team. quick hands, always after it. They don't let you calm down. And I think they, to some degree, have really gotten in. Nice move by Lino. Really gotten in the Jayhawks' head a little bit, as we've seen some turnovers by the Jayhawks that weren't even forced turnovers, but I think they're just expecting the hand or whatever to come in there.
90-second mark, little dish in baseline, doesn't fly. Lino has it. They'll try and take that from him, but Miller, he's going to take it on his own, left side.
That defensive pressure by Lino on that last offensive possession by Tigers, that was a nice illustration of the adjustments that Jayhawks made at halftime. They didn't allow that back door. He got his hand in there and deflected that pass. As we see Jack Miller then take the charge to turn it back to the Jayhawks again.
56-48. Slow down here as we approach the 60-second mark. Dahl hasn't seen a ton of minutes tonight compared to what we usually see him.
Get in there.
Lino tries to get the and one. He will go to the free throw line.
Carter even. He's going to check back in after the first shot by Lino. I suspect he'll come in for Brevin Dahl. Those two seem to relieve each other back and forth quite a bit. No, he's going to come in for Lino. So as long as Lino takes care of business here, he will go to the bench right after this shot, and Carter will come in, which isn't going to happen. I should have kept my mouth shut, Nate. Jinxed it.
Miller,
50 seconds.
They're going to be very aggressive one-on-one defense now we're seeing from the Jayhawks. Getting with that 9-point lead, the biggest they've had. And Lee now finds that rebound.
Lee now doing a lot better job in this half. He touches that ball, he's grabbing the ball, and he's not letting go of it.
Baseline, Miller over to Dahl.
Good job, nice.
Yeah, he waited for Sheldon to
nice
go away.
job by McCone. Thought he was going to try to force one up to the rim. That was a nice decision. Boy, and there they are right back at us. Ryan Walters with the 3-shot. That's a big 3 right before the end of the quarter. You know, you go in with just an 8-point lead instead of an 11-point lead. That's a big difference.
59-51. Give credit to Jack Miller really being that player that's pulled them out of here in this third period. Being up by 1 at the first, up by 1 at halftime, and now up by 8.
And you know, everybody focuses on Jack Miller's offensive ability. You know, obviously a tremendous 3-point shooter. He can fill it up. But I'm always way more impressed by, one, his passing ability, you know, setting up other people to score, and then his defense. His defense is probably goes unnoticed by a lot of people, but that kid has more turnovers or affects, you know, initiates more turnovers. Maybe he doesn't get the turnover, but his defensive pressure leads to a turnover at some point during the possession. And man, that kid just does so many things that you could easily miss him if you're not looking for him.
Jesup 25 of 48 from the field, 10 of 28 from the arch is where they're at, 35%. South Hardin 4 of 9 from the arch, according to Mad Dog Stats. I think I have to say that as a disclaimer, just in case they're not quite on par.
I got faith in.
I'm sure.
I got faith in the dog.
Yeah, he's got to wipe his breath. He's got that 2-liter Mountain Dew didn't quite do what it needed to do yet.
Down there rubbing his eyes. He's a funny guy.
Hardcore Jayhawk.
Yep.
Lean up. Jayhawk basketball. Fueling will have it.
Pretty little floater by Corbin Fueling.
Take him to 10.
McGonigal with the ball out top. Tigers continue to look inside. Boy, we might have got away with one there, but
so they'll bank it in, taking to 16.
Just do a really nice job of staying with that. You don't see their team running back until they know they don't have it anymore.
Top of Fueling. Another deep one from Miller.
He's feeling it.
25 points. Jesup did outscore South Hardin. That third stands at 23-16.
Lee now on the move. Thought he was going in, Nate.
No, I think it was in his
he was
mind.
sending that one home.
It was in his mind. Not tonight. 18 points now for the big guy.
Jesup extends their lead to 13 over the Tigers. There you go. What were we just talking about?
He saved that one and right back on defense.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets in front of that guy, gets the steal, tosses it in, which is, you know, that can go bad on you tossing it in on the other team's end of the court there. But he's just, man, his motor's always going. Miller's going to lead. Move to point now.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. We saw it a couple games back. He was run that point. They switched it back to McCone, but
well, and we've seen Brevin Dahl run some point too,
right.
and I kind of like, you know, Coach Spines talked about this one night when he visited at halftime of the girls' game, putting McCone at you know, that shooting guard, that off guard. You kind of set him up for some different offensive plays.
27 points at that fast break escape of Jack Miller, and all of a sudden we're a 15-point lead.
I keep talking about him, but I can't say enough about Jack Miller. He's the reason we're winning this game right now. It's a team sport. Obviously, there's been a lot of people that have done a lot of nice things, but if we pull this one out, it's on Jack Miller.
If you guys have been listening to us long enough, you realize if Luke tells you red's his favorite color, but he'll also justify why blue is a really good color too.
Yeah, I do that. It's my conscience. I
worry
I'm going to offend somebody, or I even felt bad after I was a little harsh with the refs in that first half, because that's kind of out of my character too.
Yeah, it's somebody's son.
Yep. Somebody's grandpa, that's
Somebody's
right.
grandpa. Well, yeah, maybe at least one or so. .5:31 to go in this game. That first personal foul, fourth team foul, a half for South Hardin. Miller, little hop in, ease in, two-pointer for him. Take him to 29 total. Jack's been averaging 14 points per game in the season.
McCone going for the steal. He's going to pick up the foul there. Got a little handsy. I think that was a foul, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Jack averages about 38 steals, or has 38 steals on the season, about 3 per game. When you talk about him on defense and forcing turnovers.
Quick hands.
You know, quick to pull down the rebound. Does he see Jack? No, he sees the hoop.
Oh, just took a bad angle. But that was a nice run by the big man.
And that's going to be South Hardin ball. Comes off of Jack's foot. A lot of people fighting for that one there.
Yeah, Jack says I should just pick that darn thing up rather than trying to dribble it. That kid has a beautiful turnaround. I keep thinking there's no way that's going in, and it goes in every darn time.
So getting a report from Ardell Oshner, who now is a self-proclaimed reporter for the Jayhawks Sports Network. AP leading Denver 53-48 after trailing much of the game. That game up at Denver tonight.
AP leading Denver.
Yeah, they were down.
Okay.
So trying to make a comeback. That's
a trap.
That has implications for us in our district here in postseason.
That's right. Brevin Dahl comes in for even, and we had a Tiger run in, and don't quote me on it, I think it was Lane Lucan.
Not a real Tiger.
Not a real Tiger, but
yeah,
that would be interesting. There's a lion in the bathroom.
We'll go back to the circle of life.
Had visions of Hangover for a minute there. Oh, beautiful pass by McCone inside to Brevin Dahl.
Timeout is wanted, full timeout from South Hardin and their head coach, John Phillips. Looking at the postseason bracket for boys Class 2A Sub-State 4, the bottom of the bracket is where we're sitting at, as New Hampton Sumner Fred will face each other. Winner goes on to play Denver in the second round in District 8. Union and Columbus will play each other at Union. This will be on the 14th, next Monday, or this coming Monday, I guess, 1 week from last night. And the winner goes on to face Jesup, and that game will be on, is it a Thursday night on the 17th? And that game will be up at the Cyclone Center in Denver at a 6:30 game, and Denver will play the winner again, New Hampton Sumner Fred, at the late game at 8 o'clock. And then those two will play on the 22nd. So turn things around quickly.
Any way you look at that bracket, we've got some stiff competition coming at us.
And the top side, Dyke New Hartford and South Hamilton will go into play AP. South Hardin and East Marshall will go into play Grundy Center. And those two will play off. That's an AP Grundy Center Highway 14 battle. And then those winners go on to face each other, I believe, on March 1st.
Mason Sheldall gets his 18th point on that turnaround jumper that we've seen so many times tonight. And that we have also seen so many times tonight. Lino turning and scoring.
Under 3 minutes, and a nice little slide away from McCone.
McCone gets a lot of those blocks. He does a nice job of chasing that kid a little bit and getting him from behind.
Seems the key in. Whistle blown.
That foul is going to go against Jack Miller. That is Jack's fourth foul.
Yeah, fourth.
So, got to be a little more careful here as the final 2 minutes, 45 seconds progress.
Yeah, you see Jack
Brevin Dahl with the block. Oh, nice ball movement by the Jayhawks. Unselfish play.
That gets Joe off the bench. Got some excitement there.
As a coach, you'd love to see that.
Looking out for who's on the floor. Feelings at 12. And Brevin down floor to Miller. Look to his right and then goes straight ahead.
Thought maybe he was going to dunk that.
So take that, Lino. 2 minute mark approaches.
So in an interesting tournament event, a game that was just unbelievably close through 3. Nice no look from McCone into Lino. A game that was a 1-point game at the end of the first, second, and third, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is now a 23-point game, potentially soon to be 24, if my math is correct.
I almost want to compare it a little bit to, when our girls team had to play Dyke New Hartford, and they had to bust their tails that entire game, and then Dyke was just kept chipping away. They just kept chipping away, and a big win for Dyke is how that turned out. Most points have been put up on Dyke in a long time.
Yeah.
Dyke New Hartford is the #1 team in the state right now.
Lino's
free throw misses.
Was a similar game, you're right. Number 40, 6'2" center Wyatt Hollingsworth in for the Tigers.
And Brady Reyes will get the call as Jack Miller will have a seat.
We also have in for the Tigers 6'1" junior Josh Vanderwilt. I don't believe I had called him yet. Even also in with Reyes. Lino's going to take a seat. Much deserved rest along with Miller. Also, two guys very deserving of that break. 24 for Lino and 31 for Miller. And Corbin Fueling bringing up third place, scoring for the Jayhawks with 12. And Corbin Fueling on a night where we saw quite a few fouls, some guys in foul trouble. He has 0 fouls and has been in most of the game.
Timeout being taken. That'll give full timeout, one for Coach Smines. Get new guys on the floor situated here. I don't know if he's going to make any more substitutions, as it looks like Dahl, McComb, Fueling, Reyes, and is that even down there?
Yep.
And not very deep tonight on the roster. This is usually see Brady Reyes maybe get a few more minutes earlier on.
Well, like we just said, though, you know, all the way up to the start of this quarter, or halfway through this quarter, it was a tight ball game, and it just kind of blew open here. So same players for the Tigers, as you saw as they went into that timeout. They're in a 3/4 court press.
Pressure. Gets through that triple team. Fueling with the ball, and now the legs and the dribble. High up to McComb. A little Hoosiers action here as that ball sails out of bounds, just passing it around. Less than 90 seconds to play. From inside the paint, missed his shot. McComb's guard play in there, pulling down rebounds. Fueling, little 6-footer, rim no good. Pull it down from even, kick it back to Reyes. He eyes a 3. He ducks in on his own. Dahl's gonna have to bring that back out for Fueling. He finds it. 15 on the night, 85-60.
Reyes.
How about this, 25-point lead.
Jumps the passing lane.
Now even.
There you go,
Looked like he was
fellas.
trying to get, maybe he should have got through the foul in there, but didn't whistle, letting him play.
So this is just a, Joe says slow down, no run and gun. This is an example of a Tigers team that played just really good basketball all the way through 3 quarters. Coach Smine is trying to hold things up here. But yeah, Tigers played exceptional ball through 3 quarters, and you look at them, they're just a team that got wore down. And we've seen Jesup do this to so many teams over the years. They're just so fast. The guard play is very quick. And then you got the big load Lino down low. It's a lot to handle for 4 quarters straight. But I really enjoyed watching South Hardin. As I said earlier, they came in with a lot of intensity. They put up a great fight. Didn't go the way they wanted to in the 4th, but still a fun game to watch, and got some good players on their team.
Yeah, Jesup been giving up 55 points throughout the season, giving up just 60 tonight. But give it to South Hardin, Luke. You know, we continue to talk about it, but they came out of the gate challenging Jesup. They had more to gain maybe than Jesup. Well, Jesup had more to lose than South Hardin did in that contest.
Yeah, I mean, South Hardin wants to win as bad as anybody does, but yeah, we didn't want to go in. You don't want to go into Thursday's game coming off a loss. And the thing I really liked about this game for the Jayhawks in particular, it was a great gut check for them. You know, end of the third quarter, you're only up one. How are you gonna respond? Are you gonna fold, or are you gonna get after them? And we definitely got after them, and that's a great win at this point in the season.
Jesup outscores South Hardin 30-9 in that fourth period. Leading scorer for the visitors from South Hardin, 18 points for Sheldall. He, scrappy kid, played well for that squad. 16 for Walters, 11 for Teskey, who led the first half, 6 for Butler, and then 4 for McGonigal. Lucan had 2. Jesup leading scorer is Jack Miller, as he had quite a few threes tonight. 31 total points for him, 24 for Lino, 11 for, actually 15 for Fueling, 11 for McCone, 6 for Even, 2 bench points tonight for Brevin Dahl, as Jesup will move on in the season and host Wapsie Valley to try and make the conference championship their own this Thursday night. We'll have that for you right here on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Heartland Technology, probably 7:45, 8 o'clock, somewhere in there, as they had a big win over Wapsie Valley on Friday, but I don't expect to see that again.
No, I don't. Nobody does. And yeah, I don't think we need to say much more about it. We're going to have a different game come Thursday night.
So we won't be offended if you decide you want to show up here in person and see that and live that here in the South Gym in Jesup. It'll be on YouTube, Facebook, but also live and in person. And the popcorn tastes a lot better here than maybe it does at home. So, and I do have to get a disclaimer. Popcorn maybe tastes a little different here, but they
got a bad batch of white popcorn from what we understand.
Things are coming back.
The yellow will be back soon, so
they're sprinkling it in, so they're aware of it. So anyway, Jesup goes on to 15-5 overall. South Hardin, they go on to 10-10 so far in the 21-22 season. You can watch this entire game again on replay on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. We want you to follow us and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. For Luke Baldwin, as well as our on-site producer Anthony Bogg, camera operator Eric Clark, I'm Nate Clayberg. Again, final score, boys win 89-60 over South Hardin. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. Music courtesy of bensound.com. Go Jayhawks, and good night.